Hello, you wonderful Lancers. I'm going to go over how to solve one-step inequalities with you. All right. So the big thing we have to recognize here is that we aren't solving an equation. And an equation is a statement that the values of two mathematical expressions are equal. That's why it has an equal sign. You can even see that the beginning of equation starts with the part of equal. However, an inequality is a relation which makes a non-equal comparison between two numbers or other mathematical expressions, represented with greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, you've seen those symbols before. In order to solve inequalities, it's really similar to how we did it with equations though. We are going to apply inverse operations to isolate the variable. Remember, inverse is the opposite. And we have to apply our operations to both sides of the inequality to keep it true. Just like how in an equation, we had to apply to both sides to keep it equal. Then we reverse the inequality only when we multiply or divide by a negative number. It's the only time we reverse it or flip it. Okay, I'm gonna start, we'll use like a fun pinkish purplish. All right. So I have this first one here. It's 5 plus m is less than -7. So you guys know me, I'm always gonna put the line through the equal sign, the inequality. It just helps me separate it. Now, in order to apply inverse operations, I need to know what operation is happening. So this says 5 plus m. The 5 is being added to m. Even if this was a minus sign here, the 5 would still be the addition part. It's a positive number. So I'm going to write that above it. This is addition. So the inverse operation of addition is subtraction. I'm going to subtract 5, and remember, I have to do the same thing to both sides. Well, 5 subtract 5 makes 0. That's the whole reason I did it. I want to get rid of it. I want to isolate my variable. Bringing m down, there was no reason to flip the inequality. I didn't even multiply or divide. So it stays as a less than symbol. And -7 subtract 5, that would be -12. Okay, and this means that any number less than -12 is a solution. So -13, -14, -15, 16, 17, all the negatives going towards the left if I'm thinking of a number line. I have this one now. I think I skipped a problem. I did, it's okay. We can do it right now. So here I had n subtract 1 is greater than 3. Well, that's a subtraction problem. So the inverse is addition. Add 1 to both sides. Oh, -1 plus 1 makes 0. So n, I shouldn't flip my inequality, is greater than 4. So we did an addition example and a subtraction example. Now I've got a multiplication example. Put my line through the inequality symbol. All right, it says -7g. I know that this one's confused us a little bit, but whenever you have a variable next to a letter, so whether it's that -7g, or maybe it's 5h, 10x, 1000w, all of those situations represent multiplication. Okay, we've got to get that stuck in our head. If you have a number next to a variable, it's multiplication. And then I don't want that to be distracting. All right, oops. So I have -7g. This is multiplying. So I need to apply the inverse operation of multiplication. Well, that's division. I use fraction bars to represent the division, and if it's multiplying by -7, then to do the exact opposite, I divide by -7. All right, and I'm going to remind us that -7 divided by -7 is 1. That's why that goes away, okay? Sometimes people will say they cancel out, but it's mathematically because they make a 1. And then we have 1g left. All right, I divided both sides by a negative, so I am going to flip my inequality this time. I'm going to reverse it. And positive 49 divided by negative 7, well, I only have one negative when I'm dividing, so this answer is going to be negative, and 49 divided by 7 is 7. So this answer is g is greater than or equal to negative 7. So that means negative 7 is an answer. Negative 6, negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. All of those numbers are greater. All right, last one. I have a division example for you. All right, I got my line through the inequality. It says e over 2, fraction bar, just like I did above that. That means that this is division. And in order to do the inverse of division, I've got to multiply by the exact same number. So e is being divided by 2, so I need to multiply by 2. And I'm going to show that multiplication with parentheses like this. And I wrote it kind of funkily, and I'll show you why in a second. Because I'm multiplying fractions right now, so technically there's a 1 underneath this. Oh, and we practice that cross simplification, that 2 and 2 can go into each other, right? This is actually kind of like 2 divided by 2, which again makes 1. All right, that's why e is now all by itself. That's why it's isolated. I multiplied by a positive 2, so I'm not going to reverse my inequality. Then 3 times 2 is 6. So this answer is e is less than 6. So it could be 5, it could be 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, all of those answers. Hopefully that helped, and make sure to reach out if you have any questions. Bye.